So I have a small problem with my car. I really like my Infiniti FX35, but the problem I have is whenever the engine is hot or even warm, whenever I try to start it, it starts and it stalls, and I actually have to hit my throttle for the car to start. So I was thinking about it, what may cause it, did a little bit of research, and decided to check how clean or dirty the throttle body is. So this is what I found, this is how I fixed the problem, and this is how you clean your Infiniti 3.5 liter throttle body and MAF sensors.
We will start by removing the engine cover. There's basically 5 bolts that hold the engine cover in place. Undo it and remove the cover. Once the cover is removed, undo all the screws and bolts that hold the hoses between airbags and throttle body in place. You have to do it on both the passenger side, as you can see now, as well as on the driver's side. Once you have everything undone, you can remove the parts. Just simply pull the rubber out from the throttle body and the airbags and it will come off. Let's take a look how dirty is my throttle body. And actually this is not on the dirty intake side, this is on the not so dirty airbags side, and you can see it's pretty dirty. Just wait till I take it off. So there are 4 bolts that are holding the throttle body in place. Just simply undo those bolts. Feel free to use power tools as they are pretty tight. Just be careful not to strip your screws. As you can see, the 4th one on this part, on the passenger side throttle body, cannot be accessed with the power tool, and I actually had to manually undo that one. Okay, so it's time to take it off and look inside, and just look at that filth. Super dirty. So cover the airbag side with a paper towel so that the cleaner does not run on your rubber and plastic parts and damage it. Once you have the paper towel inserted on the airbag side of the throttle body, spray the throttle body cleaner inside the throttle body, and you will see how the carbon is being dissolved. Just look at my paper towel on the next few shots, and you can see how dirty it gets. And it takes few tries. You have to spray it over, wipe it, clean it. It will take a while, but eventually it will be nice and clean. Once the throttle body is nice and clean, it's time to take care of our MAF sensor. Basically undo the screws that hold the MAF sensor in place, as well as the electrical connection. Once you have that done, lay down a paper towel so as you are spraying the MAF sensor cleaner over your MAF sensor, it does not go any of your rubber and plastic parts. So give it a good wash, spray it 5 to 10 times. Keep in mind, never to use a compressed air to clean any impurities. You would break that sensor right away. So only spray. The cleaner does a really good job. You can get it at any automotive store. Just spray 5 to 10 times, let it dry. It will work like new. While our MAF sensor on the passenger side is drying, we can start working on the driver's side. First thing we have to do is to undo the clamps from the hoses that hold our intake hose in place. Start with the one that connects to your passenger side intake hose, then remove the rubber piece between your airbags and the throttle body, and it would just come off out of the other hose that is going into the engine. Now that we have the hose removed, we'll repeat the same activities as we did on the passenger side. Undo all the screws. Here on this side I was able to access only 2 bolts with my power tools. The remaining 2 had to be done manually. Now that we have the throttle body removed, we can insert a paper towel just like on passenger side, flip it upside down. You can see again how dirty it was. Actually, was dirtier than on the passenger side. And you can start spraying your throttle body cleaner on that butterfly, and just repeat those tasks. Spray, wipe, spray, wipe. Once the intake side is somewhat okay, you can flip it over to the airbag side and do the same thing. Spray and wipe. Okay, so the driver's side throttle body was so dirty that I decided to do something else that it's not really recommended, which is pushing with your finger the butterfly, and you can see the ring where the butterfly touches the throttle body. It was you could feel with your finger as I touched it, you know how much thicker it is in that area. So I decided to hold the throttle body open, clean it. I also went back to the passenger side to do the same thing, and I think that this activity did a huge impact on how well the throttle body was cleaned. Now that it's perfectly clean, we can start reassembling the car. Basically put the throttle body back in place and start screwing in all the bolts. Now we can repeat the same activities related to cleaning the MAF sensor. Simply undo the screws just like on the passenger side, remove the electrical connection, spray it with your MAF sensor cleaner, give it a good bath and leave it for a few minutes to dry. It looks like I started installing it right away. It's just a time lapse. It was sitting there for a good 15 minutes. Put it back in, put the screws back in, put the electrical connection, and we have the MAF sensor reinstalled. Now we can put our hoses back on the intake, also put the hoses that attach with the clamps, position the clamps, and you pretty much have yourself the driver's side reassembled. Now on the passenger side, we'll put everything back together. So install your 4 bolts that hold the throttle body in place, make sure everything is tight, and reinstall the intake hose. And the last step is the installation of the engine cover. As I'm recording the audio for this video, I can tell you guys that this particular tuning fixed my problem. My car starts perfectly and no longer stalls. Well, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, give me thumbs up. Thank you.